Hello and welcome to my review of the Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress Deadly Alliance expansion pack, otherwise known as the Zoat. Now this expansion pack will set you back £37.50. It is a fair amount of money for what constitutes as one model and a load of extra rules and things to go with both 40k and Blackstone Fortress. It's in the similar vein as the other expansion packs, such as the Chaos Command pack and the Dreaded Amble. One of my subscribers, you know who you are, reminded me that there is going to be another expansion pack coming which has larger spindle drones. I thought that they were going to be massive, but they are quite large. But anyway, on the face of it, it is quite a large asking price for this model if you're only interested in the model and the 40k datasheet. Likewise with the Dreaded Amble. I understand why Games Workshop don't offer it as a separate kind of clamshell pack because you're kind of then duplicating the same product in a way, but it does leave out those that think that the £37.50 asking price is a bit too high if they're only interested in this model and they just want to have this model with their army. The one thing that swayed me was that the model is unaligned, which means you can join any army, any 40k army, you can just have it. You can only have one as well, but there we go. So the first thing we'll do is we'll look at the model, we'll look at all the details and things, have a closer look at that, then we'll look at all the pack because that is included in the price. Now even if you were to say that the Zoat by itself would be a minimum of £25, then you could say that the rest of the extras and things are £12.50. Essentially you're getting like a mini codex for it, you know, 24-page booklet. You're getting two large sort of trust cards, anti-trust cards. You're getting a mission, you're getting the build guide and the datasheet for 40k. You're getting all the cardboard tokens and markers. And I think the ship as well. You normally get the ships for Blackstone Fortress. You're getting a special card in an envelope, and you're getting a fair number of cards to use in the game. Discovery cards, exploration cards, things like that. So let's have a look at the model itself. One thing that you may notice, or you may have noticed from the unboxing, is it's this light plastic. I can't remember where I've seen this light plastic before. Obviously I've got a sea of grey in my collection, of course, but I can't put my finger on where I've seen it. If you can, put it in the comments below, but I'll just do a quick sort of size comparison already with the Dreaded Amble. Dreaded Amble is bigger, more menacing, it's a larger model. It's on the same size base, but that is your typical Games Workshop grey plastic. Whereas this plastic seems to be cheaper. Even though it's made in the UK, it just, yeah, looks weirder, cheaper. I don't know whether it's softer. The mould lines seem to be more difficult to remove. I don't know, that might just be my experience, but yeah, I much prefer this sort of darker grey plastic, and this is the same plastic in the Blackstone Fortress, all the other Blackstone Fortress models. Anyway, I thought I'd just show you that straight away. Let's zoom on in. Now, mould lines are everywhere on this model. Now, one of the downsides of having so many mould lines and actually gaps, you can just see a gap in there. When I spray it and paint it, that will go away, and if it doesn't, I'll just throw some liquid green stuff in. But as you can see, I've had to file away some of the gaps where the model's joined. It is a push to fit model, so you know it's an expensive kit, £37.50. I would expect to have, you know, like a multi-part kit rather than a push-to-fit, easy-to-build model in with this pack. But the Dreaded Amble was the same. That was also a push-to-fit, easy-to-build kit. It's great in a way in that, you know, it doesn't require any glue. You could just pop to the shop, buy one of these, or well, that's my whole point as well. If you're going to pop to the shop, you might as well just grab some glue as well. But anyway, you could technically, you know, pop to the shop, buy one of these, and go around your friend's house, somehow get it off the sprue using his clippers, and he or she would have glue as well. yeah, I'm reading too much into it. But basically what I'm trying to say is it's one of the downsides of push to fit models, even if you clip off the plugs, is you're going to get gaps, you're going to get inconsistencies, and that's a real shame. For a model that they've done such a big paint job, you're really going to have to work in and file away, put some liquid green stuff on, and maybe I should have seen this coming. Maybe I should have expected that it was going to be a push to fit model as much like the dreaded amble, but I have to say that I had more issues with this than the amble. So if you've had an amble and you were thinking about getting this, I'd think that would play on your mind a little bit. He is only in one, he, she, it, whatever, is only in one pose with this Eradicator weapon aiming forward. I think it's cool. The model does leave a bit of a gap there, but you could put something on the scenic base if you wanted it for 40k. You get a little bit of scenic base and just like some gemstones or some rocks there, probably rocks from the Blackstone, maybe they're Blackstones. But it's a cool looking model. I like his little tail. He looks a little bit like a salamander. If you've got a Space Marine salamander army, you know, he's going to look right at home if you choose their green paint scheme. But hey, who's telling you that you have to paint it green? I'm sure Zoats come in all kinds of colours. So don't be colourist. You can always paint in purple or pink or yellow. I think yellow would look really cool. Yellow with like a flesh shade for, you know, shading, really make the little scales pop, I think. I don't know what colour I'm going to do mine. I really don't. I just wish that they had them in different poses. Maybe you could move the arm down and this arm up. That would be cool. I would have bought two. It reminds me a little bit like the Warcry, Ogroid Myrmidon and Sphinx, things like that, that they came with a couple of options, and you know, that really motivated you to buy multiples of them. Anyway, as you can see, there is a fair bit of detail, but it's marred with the mould lines and the joins. But yeah. It's just something that you don't normally see, you know, when you're used to seeing that all the time. Anyway, I think it's a lovely model despite the flaws with the mould lines and the gaps and things. It's just which army is he going to go with the most. You know, if you paint him green, you know, he could go well with the orcs or the salamanders. If you painted him purple or the same colour as your Tyranids, your hive, then he would go well with them, I think. Maybe. But yeah, but I can't see him go. And also Tau even, you know, it'd go well with Tau if you've got some Kroot and things nearby. But I can't see him going well with Eldar and Space Marines in general, or Chaos, but the other armies definitely. So that's the model. I really like him. I like the look of him. I like the pose, and the rules are pretty good, and we'll go through the rules in a moment. But that is not the whole story. The model is not the whole price. You get these two amazing see-through plastic bags. No. You get this really cool Deadly Alliance book. I think it's more pages than the Dreaded Amble. I think the Dreaded Amble was about 20 and this is 24 or so. Well, that's what it's advertised as, but I can't find mine anywhere. Like, I can't find my Dreaded Amble little box anywhere, so I might have to hunt around for that. But it's fantastic. You've got a lovely introduction for the actual Deadly Alliance expansion. You've got all the components, and it breaks down all of the markers and the counters and the shards and the hexes and all the rest of it. They weren't ships, by the way, sorry, they were console hexes. I think with the Dreaded Amble you do get a ship, I think. You get a really nice look at the Archivist, you know, close up. That's really cool. I like the little handwritten writing. And then it talks to you about the Zoats. Zoats are large-scaled, heavily muscled quadrupeds. Their hulking physiques belie their true nature. These aliens are highly intelligent, technologically advanced, and mercilessly manipulative in pursuit of their goals. Amazing. And then it goes on about the quest, setting it up, or the encounters. So it goes through that for a few pages. The shifting. And then after the quest, and the crawling deeps. and Dark Vortex rules, and Shifting Morass. And then the third mission there, the Shadowed Halls, Desperate Hour. A little bit of lore there. A little extract of a message there about the Archivist, and then an advert for First Strike. So really nice little book, really well done. You've also got these cards here, these trust cards, the Archivist trust card, and then that's what it is. And then you've got the retinue character Mistrustful, and then Trusting, and yeah, pretty cool. You've got the little, you can put the little counters there. So they're really nice, well made cards. You then get the counters too, which I haven't popped out. I think I should pop it out. What do you guys think? Do you think I should pop it out? All right, just because you said. I know how satisfying it is to watch me pop these out. So satisfying, you know. Let's use one of those premium transparent sealable baggies to put them in. So yeah, they're counters. If you've ever had cardboard counters, you know their backstory, and then that can just pop in the recycle bin. Okay, so these are all the counters. They're, yeah, cardboard. You're going to have extra bits that are attached there, which, yeah, does suck. But you know, what's the alternative? To have them punched out at the factory. They'll do their job. They'll last a fair amount unless you get them really soaking wet. You know, maybe you're very excited about playing a game, your palms are sweaty, your mum's spaghetti, all that kind of jazz. And yeah, at the end of it, these might just be, well, like Weetabix at the end of the day. Anyway, let's move them away before I get on a massive tangent. So apart from those cards, you get this special secret card. It says, do not open until the quest to quell the Seath has been completed. I'm not going to open it. But then you've got these cards as well. You've got 12 discovery cards. They're all the same, no difference there. They all say Shard Quake on there. And then 18 of these. So in total you get 30 quite high quality cards. Yeah, they do their job. You know, it explains the relics. So you've got 2 relics there, another relic, so 3 relics. 5 challenges, and 10 combat cards as well. So 18 for them, 12 for them. They're all the cards. And then you've got Blackstone Fortress, the Shard Cell. As you step into the Shard Cell, you find a series of chambers scattered with elements from the Forerunner's ship, and so on. And then the rules as well. And then the rewards. If the explorers conquer the Shard Cell, open the Shard Cell envelope. Nice. And then you get this, the Archivist. So this is the assembly guide right here. It does its job, but then you've also got the 40K data sheet and the lovely paint guide. If you wanted to paint him in this War Flesh and Nurgling green colours, and it's a nice little paint guide for the glowing claw there, the glowing Eradicator Glove. Sorry, I think I called the weapon Eradicator gun. It's actually an atomic disassembler, just because I've never heard these weapons before. We'll go through these rules in a moment, but first of all, let's go through the size comparisons. So I've already done a size comparison with the Dreaded Amble. It is bigger, beefier, more intimidating and cheaper, and you also get these 2 bugs. Doesn't really have a ranged weaponry as such, but you've got these rad maggots and rad worms, or whatever they're called, which is a nice little feature. But yeah, smaller than a Dreaded Amble. But other Blackstone Fortress Gribblies and things, you've got the Spindle Drone and the Urgal, or Urgul, I think it's Urgul. That's where he stands with them. And then you've got the Rogue Trader and a Man of Iron, this robot thing. And yeah, if I just put them near him, he is one of the biggest units. He's just not as big as the Dreaded Amble, but definitely up there, and large compared to you know, your standard infantry models. Comparing him to, you know, Space Marine models and things, you've got a Legacy Space Marine there, you've got Primaris there, and then you've got Sly Marbo there. Be nice if Sly Marbo could take on a Zoat. Who knows? But the Zoat is a fair bit larger than a normal Primaris Space Marine. If you're wondering if you had a few Space Marines around him and you wanted to have him join your brand new assault intercessors, that would be quite cool. But he is only moving 5 inches at the end of the day. And speaking of which, let's go through all the rules for him. So he is an elite choice and he's a power points cost of a 4. He's a points cost of 85, and that includes all his war gear. So straight up 85 points. So straight up 85 points. I think that's pretty decent actually. His stat line reads: he's a movement of 5 inches, weapon skill and ballistic skill are both 3+, strength 5, toughness 4, 6 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, and save of 3+. I think that's very solid. I would have preferred a toughness 5, just to reflect that he's a big quadruped, but he does have 6 wounds at the end of the day, and I would have liked to have seen a better save. However, it's hard to argue that his save being 2+ is the same as like Custodes or a Terminator, when it's just a big thing of flesh and muscle and sinew and just has some little armor plates on him. It's hard to argue that it's same as Terminator plate. It's actually even harder to argue that it's same as power armor, but still. So I get why it's not a 2+. There's a single model equipped with an atomic Dissassembler, Eradicator Glove. You can only include one of this model in your army. So the Atomic Dissassembler, which is the pistol weapon that he's got there, is a range 18 inch, pistol 1, strength 8, AP -3 and a damage of D6. And when resolving an attack made with this weapon, the target does not receive the benefit of cover in its saving throw. That could be horrific. So you're going against an elite kind of unit and they're in cover. And they don't have a normal invulnerable save. You can ignore that cover save. That's fantastic. And the damage D6 adds a little bit of a gamble there as well. Now the Eradicator Glove, it's a melee weapon, times his strength by 2, so already that's strength 10, AP -3 and a solid damage of 3. And when resolving an attack made with this weapon, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So it kind of works like a power fist. That you have to subtract the 1. So although he's only got 4 attacks, he's going to be hitting on a 4+, which is a 50-50. You're probably only going to get 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky, attacks connect with that thing. But when they do hit, as I said in the unboxing, that's going to hit with a strength of 10 and an AP of -3 and cause 3 lots of damage. Abilities: Disruptive Influence. Subtract from the leadership characteristic of enemy and friendly units whilst they are within 3 inches of any model with this ability. Now that's a double-edged sword, of course. Subtracting 1 from the leadership isn't amazing, but you know, if you've got a Mechanicus army, for instance, where leadership is like 5 or 6, that could be quite detrimental. So he could be impacting whether your own units flee or not. But it is a small range of 3 inches. Keywords: Zoat unaligned, character, monster, the Archivist. So there you go. Quite a clean, lean data sheet there. I think his weapons are well powered. I don't think they're overpowered. I don't think, but they're just sweet enough that it's worth spending the 85 points for. He is a character at the end of the day, so it's going to be hard for your opponent to target him if he's not the closest unit. So that does add to his survivability, and certainly his 6 wound. I kind of just wish he had a toughness of 5 though, and something above his save, like he could shrug off wounds or something like that. I mean, the Dreaded Amble has something like that in the regenerative rule side of things. But I think it's quite a fair model at the end of the day, and I'd love to see more and more Xenos one-off models from Games Workshop, whether they're in Blackstone Fortress or just in Warhammer 40K in general. I much prefer these creative models for alien races and things that are in the far reaches of the Imperium, of Imperial space, even past Imperial space. I'd much rather see more of that than more generic humans in power armor. Maybe I've just got power armor fatigue, but that's my own fault. I bring it on myself. Anyway, what do you guys think of Deadly Alliance and the Archivist, this lovely Zoat model? It did surprise me that I'd pick him up. And the reason wasn't for one particular army to bolster or for him to join. It was because I like to support the Xenos races and these kind of one-off models that we rarely see Games Workshop produce over the ones that sell better. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.